Is it Wednesday, New Comic Book Day? Welcome back, everybody, to another New Comic Book Day Wednesday, this time for July 30th. Of course, we're going to be getting my New Comic Book Day haul here in a second, but I wanted to give you guys a heads up what the rest of the video is going to be. Every single Wednesday, bringing you guys a video packed full of comic book content. We have the New Comic Book Day haul. We've got a set of comic book reviews, everything I read last week for July 23rd New Comic Book Day quick reviews. We have everything that I read in the month of July, so graphic novels, omnis, we got an absolute edition as well. We got some manga. Definitely stay tuned for reviews and art of all of those. And then we finish it off by doing a comic book Q&A. So 10 comic book questions, comments, and concerns from you guys, the audience, from the month of July. And that's how we close it out, New Comic Book Day. So yeah, definitely use the chapters down below to skip. Thank you guys for watching this portion of the video. Definitely stay tuned. Alrighty guys, just got out of Casablanca Comics, my local comic book store, with the comic book haul. As you guys can see, got some fun extras in here too, so let's just get into it. Let's start off with the extra. Let's start off with the extra, dude. We got Superman #1, the facsimile, dude. Really cool. I love that they reprinted it in its like original size. If I could open it and flip through, all right, I'll do it real quick just for you guys. But it's got like the newspaper sort of print, right? So I think that's sick, man. So Superman #1 in the full original size with the newspaper print. That was pretty cool. It was the last one at my shop. Let's get into the actual comics though. A lot of cool stuff from the indies, especially this week. Let's go with Assorted Crisis Events first. So issue #5 of this Dennis Camp. This is an anthology series. Really cool stuff from Eric Zawadzki and Bel Air as well on the art. And I think that this one deals with, yeah, you got this character running around in a maze, dude. So I think that each page, not each page, but they're gonna look like this, where it's kind of like a wheel sort of thing. So Assorted Crisis Events. Issue #5, we also have Godzilla versus America, but it's Godzilla versus Boston, dude. So not collecting the series by any means, but you know, near the hometown. I live in Maine and I want to see how he rips up Boston, so that should be cool. We also have, it's getting a little hot in the car here. We also have You'll Do Bad Things, issue #5. Really love this horror kind of slasher series from Tyler Boss. Got some heat from the Ultimate universe. So we have Ultimates issue #11 and Ultimate Spider-Man issue #19, guys. Two of my favorite Marvel series on stands right now, coming out on the same day. Excellent, excellent stuff. We also have Out of Alcatraz issue #5. This is from Oni Press. It's the last issue of this crime series from Tyler Crook and Christopher Cantwell as the writer. We also have Nightwing, the annual issue #1. Pretty cool stuff. We got Frank Avila on the art. Dan Waters doing really cool stuff with the Nightwing series. And then we have News from the Fallout issue #2. Chris Condon written series here. Kind of like a horror sort of, I don't know, like a Twilight Zone episode. That's the vibe it gives me, but really cool stuff with this one. Really cool, interesting art from Jeffrey Allen Love. Nothing like it on stands. We have the return of the Lucky Devils, issue #4. Has this series only gone to 1, 2, and 3 so far? I feel like there's been a break. I know Charles Soule was going through some medical stuff, I think. Or not Charles Soule, Ryan Brown is going through some medical stuff. So hopefully he's all right. But yeah, we have the return of the Lucky Devils. And that's what we got for New Comic Book Day for the week of July 30th. Closing out the month pretty strong. Closing out the month of July with some great comic books, dude. I think for me, the picks of the week though have got to be the heat from the Ultimate universe. I mean, you're talking the Ultimates and you're talking Ultimate Spider-Man. That's got to be my picks of the week, but let's see. Let's try to get this spread. And yeah, let me know what you guys are picking up today for New Comic Book Day. It's a great one, man. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure to watch the rest of the video, dude. I really appreciate it. We have here 7 comic books from the week of July 23rd, New Comic Book Day. This is your weekly comic book review, man. So let's get into it. I'd be curious to know what your pick of the week was last week. Let me know down in the comments while you're down there. Maybe like, maybe sub. It really helps out these small channels. By the end of this video, hopefully I can figure out what my pick of the week is as well. But let's get into it. Let's starting off with Absolute Martian Manhunter issue #5. Dude, excellent stuff from Dennis Camp, Javier Rodriguez. Really sad when the series is going to go on a little bit of a break, but shout out to Javier Rodriguez, of course, for winning that Eisner, dude. Big stuff. This issue was awesome. It was all about the city has been kind of enveloped in this total darkness, something with the white Martian, and our main characters here are just going around trying to solve all these crimes that are happening in the darkness. Kind of like everybody's got like a dark kind of demon or whatever that's following them, causing them to do these evil deeds. And yeah, our main characters are trying to figure it out, but it's kind of interesting to see Javier Rodriguez play with darkness and shadow and the color black is something that we haven't really seen a ton in this series so far. It's usually just a really poppy and pop of color, but it's interesting to see Javier Rodriguez focus on these blacks and these shadows and kind of how they play with the colors that we've seen in the series thus far. And yeah, dude, I really thought this was excellent stuff. Continues to be an amazing absolute title as we see our guy running around trying to solve all these crimes. He gets into a car crash, still having trouble with his, wife at home, mother of his, child, and then kind of a crazy cliffhanger, dude. So just a really excellent issue. Really loving this Absolute Martian Manhunter series. Definitely a standout from the Absolute line. Next up, let's talk Exquisite Corpses issue number 3. So this series gets better and better, man. So the concept alone is really strong. It's this battle royale kind of alternate history sort of thing. A bunch of rich families have hired a bunch of killers to go in and do battle royale in a small town in Maine. And really gory, really violent stuff ensues. But it really focuses as well on the innocent people that are just caught in the crossfire. So we get this paramedic and these 2 EMT paramedic people, and yeah, they're caught right in the crossfire. We get this dude who is just trying to find his boyfriend, and it's also Halloween night too, so that kind of adds an extra, sense of style and flair to the series. I'm loving it, man. Really, really excellent artwork, really strong character moments, really suspenseful as well as we see this kind of attack in the hospital from this crazy Nurse Pete guy. And yeah, just really, really enjoying the series, man. Definitely a highlight from Image Comics. Definitely think you guys check it out. Tiny Onion taking over the world, dude. Absolute Wonder Woman issue number 10, dude. One of my favorite issues of this series so far. We find Diana still lost in the maze, but she's got some help, dude. She's got the help of Ferdinand, this kind of Minotaur-looking dude, and then we get introduced to this girl, Petra. So Wonder Woman is gonna try to save this Petra girl. Kind of has a mysterious thing about her. And yeah, it's just Wonder Woman still stuck in the maze. We get a really, really touching flashback scene to Wonder Woman, younger woman, Wonder Woman having a face-off with this kind of panther, bloody panther god. And this bloody panther god keeps trying to test her, stepping up to her, trying to make her fight, but she's like, I'm not gonna fight you for no reason. The panther guy tries to go for this freaking turtle, right? And this turtle is saved by Diana, dude. So really touching moment. This was making me cry. I don't know if you guys know, I've got a tortoise myself named Sheldon. So this really hit me in the feels when young Diana is saving a turtle. This was making me cry, dude. Made me think of Sheldon. You can just get the sympathy, the empathy, all the different emotions, dude, are really flowing in this Kelly Thompson written series here. Excellent stuff from Hayden Sherman on the artwork, especially near the tail end of the issue when it gets all like crazy, dude. This is the Hayden Sherman stuff that I know and love, man. The Voice Said Kill issue number 1. So this is from Cy Spurrier with art from Vanessa Del Rey, Image Comics series, brand new. And I thought this was pretty solid, so definitely landed by the end of this issue. Definitely sold me on it. It's all about this park ranger girl who accidentally kills the son of a mob boss girl here. She's like a drug dealer in the Louisiana area, down in the swamps, down in the bayou. And this park ranger girl has to sort of hide the body, because she's gonna be in trouble with the mob or whatever. So interesting kind of setup here. And as I'm flipping through, you guys are seeing the Vanessa Del Rey artwork. There's almost nothing like it in comic books. It's really kind of crazy stuff. I don't know, it kind of took a while to get me there, but definitely when we see the kind of encounter that the park ranger has with this dude and ends up accidentally killing him, that's kind of where they sold me. Once they kind of landed the scenario, they kind of set up for the story. And I think with Vanessa Del Rey's artwork, this is gonna be one to pull for sure. Cy Spurrier's writing, a little wordy, right? Could be a little wordy sometimes. Gotta get used to Cy Spurrier's kind of writing style. Yeah, he's very, very interesting. Let's talk about Green Arrow number 26. This might be better than the last arc, dude. So, and this one, it just feels more personal with Green Arrow. It feels more personal with Green Arrow because it deals with his time with Speedy. Speedy has fallen into a coma, and the end of last issue, we find out that there's this evil guy called like the Crimson Archer, and he's just going around, shooting homeless people up with narcotics, like making them overdose. It's really crazy stuff. So he does that to Speedy, and Speedy falls ill, he falls into a coma, and they're kind of grappling with the fact that he might have overdosed, but Ollie's like, no, dude, I know this isn't Speedy. Like he was clean, he wasn't using. There has to be something else going on. So Wally's gonna try to, or not Wally, sorry. Ollie's gonna try to, you know, figure out what the heck is going on. Who is this Crimson Archer guy? And what does he want to do? You know, what does he have to do with Speedy? And why is he just making people OD, right? Like, it's pretty evil. And yeah, pretty interesting setup for this next arc. Of course, we get these cool moments with Green Arrow and his dog. I really like this detective lady that they've introduced in the last arc. I think she's pretty cool. And yeah, dude, I'm just really liking this Green Arrow series. Definitely underrated at a DC comic. And I think that the second arc might be better than the first arc, which is really hard to say. But it's easier to say when it's the same creative team. We got Chris Condon, Montos, and Lucas. They're just killing it, man. But definitely let me know if you guys reading this Green Arrow series. If you're not, I think you should be. It starts right where Superman gets to Earth, and it ends right on the Crisis on Infinite Earths event. So that's kind of what we're dealing with here in this issue. But I just love all the different, it sounds stupid to say, but I love the history of the universe and kind of the way that Mark Waid's laid it out. It's pretty tough what he's doing. I mean, you're summing up the entire history of the DC universe. You're doing like one text box and like one panel essentially, and you're just doing that for the entire issue. Really strong artwork from Allred, Hill, and the Allred again, probably for the colors, both the Allreds. But yeah, man, really cool. If you're into DC cosmology, DC history, if you want to learn more about DC, you'll definitely learn some stuff in here. There's some deep cuts. And yeah, just from Mark Waid, someone who really appreciates the DC universe, got some pretty good stuff. Superman number 28, I thought this was sick, man. So really love everything going on in the Superman title. Very rewarding to have stuck with it all 28 issues as everything's kind of coming to a head. And we have Superman fighting the Omega Legion, who are sort of the legion of superheroes, but maybe have turned evil in the future, in a future that's ruled by Darkseid. So we thought that Darkseid might have, you know, been dead at the start of All In or whatever, but it turns out there's this kind of meta narrative going on over at DC, and Superman is kind of the spearhead of it. He's kind of caught right in the middle. And yeah, we get some, you know, some stuff about the past. We get some stuff in the future. We get some nice moments with Martha Kent, Ma Kent as well here in the bedroom. And yeah, I just thought this was a really strong issue. Of course, you get Dan Mora on the artwork with Sanchez on the coloring. Excellent stuff, dude. And yeah, I'm just really enjoying this Superman title. I would say that if you haven't jumped on yet, it's kind of hard to recommend because it's so far along. But if you can get those past trades, if you can catch up, it's a really rewarding read. And I think that it's really, really cool just to have been reading the Superman title for so long. But that's what we got, man. These are probably my 3 picks of the week. But if I had to choose one, it's probably Absolute Wonder Woman, dude. So sick. Really love the artwork in this one especially. But that's what we got. Thank you guys for watching. Like I was saying, leave your pick of the week down in the comments. See what we got. This is everything that I read in the month of July, man. So let's get into it. We got some Fantastic Four, some Captain America, some Superman, and some manga as well. Let's start off with All-Star Superman. So a lot of people were recommending this to me, obviously. It's probably the most recommended Superman story of all time. It's gotta be, dude. But let's look at All-Star Superman here. So just in general, what I think about it. I thought it was great. I thought it was awesome. It's not my favorite Superman story of all time, which might surprise some people. I think that, I don't even know how to describe it, man. It's like, it was a great story. I loved everything that happened. Every single issue had something about it that I loved. It just wasn't my Superman, I guess. Like, it feels kind of like a foreign, it feels like someone else's Superman. It feels like it's Grant Morrison's Superman or something like that. It doesn't feel like it's a Superman that belongs to me, I guess, if that makes any sense at all. But I loved it. I thought it was cool. Definitely a top tier Superman story, one that every Superman fan needs to read at some point. It's not one that I would recommend people start out reading though. Everyone recommends this as one of the first Superman stories to read, but I don't see it that way at all. This is like one of the last Superman stories you should read, man. So kind of interesting in that way. The Supergirl issue was great. The Superwoman issue, the stuff with Doomsday and Jimmy Olsen, all the stuff with kind of the Bizarro world. I thought that issue was really cool in particular. Just a really weird kind of read, very unique. I mean, you're not gonna read a Superman story that's like this. I just don't know if it's, yeah, it's just not my favorite Superman story. It's not my Superman, I guess, if that makes any sense at all. But yeah, very complex feelings I have about this All-Star Superman story. I see why everybody recommends it. I mean, it really does break down the character in such a great way. Obviously, Grant Morrison, someone who loves Superman, you can tell. And the artwork from Freight Quietly, I came to really appreciate it by the end. I know that a lot of people can find it rough in some spots. And yeah, it's not like my favorite art style altogether. It's not even my favorite look for Superman, I'll be quite honest with you guys. All-Star Superman, gotta give it its flowers, man. I mean, it's one of the most recommended, one of the most legendary Superman stories for sure. Just not my favorite, just not my favorite. But I'm glad I read it, especially before the Superman movie, so that was cool. Let's talk about Fantastic Four 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll get through this pretty quickly, but another Grant Morrison read. I thought it'd be kind of cool to read 2 in 1 month, that way I can compare them. And a lot of people were telling me to don't read this. They were telling me to disregard this story altogether. That's not how it works around here though. I'm gonna read stories that I wanna read and kind of form my own opinion on them. I guess a lot of people's qualms with this story is that they say, hey, it's not a accurate representation of the Fantastic Four. Part of the story is that Dr. Doom is manipulating reality. So isn't that part of the story? I don't know, I'm just finding it very confusing, all the people saying not to read this. Did you guys read the story? I thought it was pretty sick actually. Obviously, it's like a really weird Fantastic Four story. It's not my favorite Fantastic Four story, but I thought it was kind of a cool setup. It's Dr. Doom, he found a way to mess with reality in kind of a fourth dimensional sort of way, and he's sort of moving the entire Fantastic Four cast around and making them, you know, making them fall, kind of picking them to pieces. And I don't know, I thought it was kind of interesting to see how everything wrapped up. It turned out that the reason why Reed was so focused and he was thinking was because he was also coming up with a way to counteract. And I don't know, man, I thought the Jai Lee artwork was really cool too. I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of Jai Lee's artwork in general, but I would say I'm mostly not a fan of Jai Lee's cover work, right? The covers have never been doing it for me, but the interiors I really like kind of Jai Lee's style and thought it really was cool to see the Fantastic Four kind of rendered like this. You gotta read it at some point, I think. I don't know, dude. Let's talk about Captain America. Big highlight in this is the Winter Soldier kind of arc, right? So Bucky Barnes returns. He's kind of a tool used by, I forgot the guy's name, some Russian dude, which we find out he's kind of working in cahoots with the Red Skull at some point. That was pretty interesting to see. And yeah, I thought this was just really cool. Probably my favorite, not probably, definitely my favorite Captain America run that I've read so far. I think the kind of like spy kind of aspect, the kind of spy flavor to this was something I really came to love by the end of it. Really gave me kind of shades of that Captain America Winter Soldier that I really like. And yeah, I thought this did it infinitely better. It's Captain America, he's globetrotting, he's running around, he's working with Agent 13, working with the rest of S.H.I.E.L.D., stopping kind of terrorism plots all around the globe. And then when we get the introduction of Bucky Barnes into the story, the Winter Soldier, it obviously takes a heavy toll on Captain America. And that's really what I like about this Ed Brubaker stuff, man, is he really excels at writing characters with, you know, heavy past, really dark past, things that they're grappling with. So when he gets his hands on Bucky Barnes and the Winter Soldier stuff, Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier, like shot up to one of my favorite characters in all of Marvel just from this omnibus. I really, really loved the Winter Soldier. I thought he was really cool. And this version of Captain America too, you really see why Captain America is that guy, you know what I mean? He's always rushing into battle head first, always believing what he believes in, man. And really cool too, we get these kind of flashback scenes to Captain America and Bucky's days in like World War II. And just in general, man, I thought this omnibus was just a really fun read. Of course, we get great artwork from Steve Epting. We get some cool stuff with Michael Lark, Mike Perkins. I mean, just a ton of excellent artists here. We get Lee Weeks as well. But yeah, definitely the Steve Epting stuff and the you know, Michael Lark stuff, obviously really, really cool stuff. And it's just really fun to be reading this, doing this Captain America kind of journey. Can't wait to read the next one, dude. And Ed Brubaker, one of those guys, man. Everything I read from him, he just keeps climbing my writer favorite writer of all time list, dude. So let's talk about Vagabond, dude. So this is the 3-in-1. And as you guys know, I'm trying to read a lot more manga this year, but I've fallen really far behind, and this caught me up in a really nice way, dude. So I love Vagabond. This thing was pretty sick. The artwork, obviously really cool. The fine line details, the kind of focus on nature at some points too, I thought were really cool. The characters look great. The action in this was really sick. But this story, it's kind of interesting, right? Because not a ton happens in this whole thing. Like, yell at me in the comments, guys, but not a ton happens. I think he goes from like one city, he goes over here, he's stuck in a tree for a really long time. But it's more about the kind of character journey and kind of the progression from the beginning to the end of this first 3-in-1. And I can't wait to continue reading the series, man. I wish that it was finished. You guys, I was told after the fact that this isn't a finished series, so I was like, oh dang, what did I get myself into? And there's a lot of different volumes of this too, so that's got me worried just a little bit. But at least on the start, dude, I really came to love this Vagabond series. Our main character is super sick. I really, especially like near the end when he has this new like lease on life and found like a new purpose for himself. Definitely the moment after he is cut down from the tree and he has that discussion with the monk. That scene, you know, like you deserve to live, and he gives him that kind of new push. I thought that was some excellent stuff. This moment here, that life is not for you. Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps just looking at this again, dude, but excellent stuff. This was probably the favorite moment I read all month, I guess, was this moment with the monk and the rock. So yeah, dude, Vagabond. Not much I can say about Vagabond that hasn't already been said. Really thank you guys for recommending this to me. And yeah, dude, can't wait to continue reading it. But that's what we read. Just a bunch of rambling, but that's what we read in the month of July with the All-Star Superman, the Vagabond, the Captain America, and then the Fantastic Four 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me know what you guys had a chance to read this month. I'd be curious. Leave a like if you liked, sub if you loved, really helps out these small channels. Thank you guys for watching this portion. Your comic comments, 10 comments, questions, and concerns from you guys, the audience. They may or may not deal with comics. That's all right, dude. If you got any questions or comments, leave them down below. And yeah, we'll get to them next month. Make sure you leave a like. Make sure you sub while you're down there. It really helps out the small channels. But let's talk about Stephen Black, 6049. He says, I actually enjoyed the actual content. You and Speed Sultan should get together because you both have actually picked up all the same comics currently and are actually the same age apparently. Thanks for sharing and listening. Yeah, dude, so Steven, you know, me and Speed Sultan, good buddies. We became mutuals on Comic Talk, dude. So yeah, I'm actually really proud of everything Speed Sultan's doing here on YouTube, dude. I think he's just killing the game. And it's really showing me that like this kind of content is possible on YouTube. Like it's possible to find success just doing like a laid back kind of chill comic book channel, dude. So shout out Speed Sultan, dude. I did a podcast with him like a long time ago, back like, I don't know, a long time ago. But we interviewed him and Cosmic Collector as well, me and Christian, on the Color Break podcast. So check that out if you're interested, man. But yeah, Speed Sultan, good buddy of mine, shout out. Let's talk about Wilder is Wild. So one of the things I wanted to read in the month of July was Fantastic Four 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a Grant Morrison story with Jai Lee artwork. And Wilder is Wild said, don't read Fantastic Four 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't do it. And I was like, okay, why not? He says, did a lot of damage to the public perception of Sue and Reed, especially with how Namor plays a role in their relationship, along with Grant Morrison having some weird fetish takes on the F4. The book just isn't a good Fantastic Four story at all, and it isn't a great way to view the team. Listen, Wilder is Wild. No disrespect, dude, but you're a baby, dude. I never understood this, like, in the comic book community, right? A lot of people, it seems like they don't even read the stories, and they just go around kind of bad-mouthing the stories, kind of spreading whatever, like, misinformation. Wouldn't you rather just read the story and make up your own opinion of it, right? That's exactly what I did, and I actually kind of like Fantastic Four 1, 2, 3, 4, dude. And this whole thing with it's not a good representation of the team, literally part of the story is that Doom is manipulating reality and changing the characters. So if you're like, hey, this isn't my Fantastic Four, It's because Doom was manipulating reality, dude. It's part of the story. Did you guys even read the story, man? So you guys out there, man, it blows my mind, dude. So listen, Wilder's Wild says don't read Fantastic Four 1, 2, 3, 4. Cody says read it and make up your own opinion of it, dude. So how about that? Let's move on. Got a little heat in that one, guys, all right? Let's move on to Aaron Adam Chatterjee 8983. Sorry, dude, that's a tough name. Is Batman and Robin Year One, Batman and Robin Jason Todd, all three comics set on the main DC timeline? So this is a pretty interesting question. We have all these Batman titles out right now, and he's asking if they're on the main continuity, main DC timeline. Maybe Batman Year One could be. Batman and Robin definitely is. That's the mainline series going on right now with Philip Kennedy Johnson writing, I believe. Batman and Robin Jason Todd might not be, but how I look at it all, man, it's like, I don't know. Continuity and storyline and stuff like that, timeline, isn't so important to me versus just telling a good story. So if all of these, Batman and Robin Year One, Batman and Robin Jason Todd, are sort of elseworlds or they take place in their own, I'm not too worried about it, dude, right? I think some people get so hung up on continuity that they just don't even enjoy the story for what it is. So yeah, I don't know. Robin and Batman, Jason Todd, the other Robin and Batman series from Jeff Lemire, Dustin Nguyen. Maybe you consider those in their own universe. I don't know, but I'm just reading great Batman stories, man. So yeah, but thanks for the question, dude. Jai Othi Senaredi says, Marvel or DC? I choose DC over Marvel in comics and Marvel over DC in movies. What about you, Marvel or DC? I think for me, for comics, definitely DC. I mean, you guys know what I pick up, what I'm reviewing, what I'm choosing to spend my time reading. A lot of DC stuff, right? Marvel, I guess Marvel over movies just because they've had a better track record than the DCEU, but that might all be changing with Superman, dude. So yeah, I don't know. Next up, Titan Zero. He says, I can't wait to read the new Captain America comic. Yeah, dude, I thought that Chip Zdarsky's Captain America issue #1 was a great first step to a Captain America run. And at the same time, I chose to read this in the month of July. So I think it's kind of interesting kind of comparing two different Captain America runs, like two different reinventions of the character or whatever. So yeah, starting with Captain America by Ed Brubaker, reading that Captain America by Chip Zdarsky. It's kind of cool to read them in parallel. But yeah, thanks for the comment. Titan Zero. Taylor EXE says, so glad to hear you enjoyed East to West. I feel like nobody is talking about it anymore. It's so freaking good. Dude, East to West is really good. I have a video coming out soon. I still gotta edit it, but it's me and Kai Bucks, who we do the top 10 comic books of the month. Me and Kai Bucks doing a full review of East to West. It's really rambly, and we just kind of gush about East to West for, I don't know, like 20 minutes or something like that. But yeah, I'll get that up soon. And yeah, I really enjoyed doing these extra videos with Kai Bucks, so definitely expect more soon, dude. Thanks for the comment, Taylor EXE. Sampaio Biv says, your channel is bad. I don't like. Superman is the best. So this was on the video where I did a review of the, the David Corenswet Superman movie action figure. And yeah, so this guy says that your channel is bad. I don't like. Superman is the best. The review itself was a little negative, but it was only because I thought that they included like the wrong accessories. The face swaps kind of look the same. I love Superman, so this guy has got the wrong idea thinking that I hate Superman, but the comment just really made me laugh. Sampaio Biv says, your channel is bad. I don't like. Superman is the best. I love Superman, dude. You're getting the wrong idea. I was just talking about the action figure. Wasn't worthy of like the deluxe McFarlane name or whatever. Rice Dream says, do you ever feel guilty about buying comics and collecting and not having enough time to read them? Asking for myself, I'm going through it. So I would say probably about maybe like a year and a half ago, before I moved to Maine, definitely moved back to Maine, I was probably overbuying. I mean, you guys were seeing I was doing hauls all the time. I think that now I've kind of find a good balance between buying and reading. I'm reading a ton of stuff. Like, this is everything I read in the month of July. That's huge for me, dude. That's a really nice reading month. Yeah, I think you just gotta find that balance, I guess, right? Because you obviously don't want to be buying and never reading. I mean, that's not the point of the hobby, right? The point of the hobby is to read, not just to buy. So you gotta find that nice balance, but yeah. What is this guy's name? Jeez, dude, 22695750. He says, it's great to see a younger generation getting into comics. I'm an old head fan starting in the 70s when I was a kid, was starting to give up hope because every time I went to my LCS, all the customers were old guys like me. Yeah, dude, so I would think it's really interesting seeing this kind of, not resurgence, because I don't know how it is affecting like sales and stuff like that, but just like this excitement I'm seeing on Comic Talk especially, just a bunch of new people just getting into the hobby. I think it's really cool. And for example, right, with all these superhero movies kind of kicking off with Fantastic Four and Superman, I was able to get my brother into comic books too. You know, he went to the comic book store, he dropped the bag, buying a ton of stories that I was recommending him. And he read like Superman Birthright, for example. He's reading Woman of Tomorrow. So yeah, it's really cool this, you know, maybe it has something to do with these new movies getting everybody excited, but just a ton of new people I'm seeing enter the hobby, and I think it's really cool. So yeah, dude, shout out to the old heads. Shout out to the new comic book readers, really good stuff. Silver Fox, I think this is the last comment too. Silver Fox 85 says, I've had a few Walking Dead, but since my 40th birthday, have been pretty hard collecting Image comics and have over 40 books now, including one of my top picks would definitely be the Invincible Compendiums. We had a discussion later on, me and Silver Fox going back and forth, and I was just interested in what he was collecting, dude, and he's got pretty much like every Image hardcover deluxe edition, and I think that's super sick. So I'll step out of the way. I have a ton of Image Comics deluxe editions. You guys can see like over here. I have a lot of the Rick Remender deluxe editions as well. I really like his format. And yeah, dude, I think that I'd be like you, dude. I'd be collecting Image crazy, all the hardcovers. I think they're super cool. And yeah, that's like a super cool collection, man. So cool stuff there. Silver Fox 85. Thank you guys to everyone who left a comment. Really appreciate it. And like I was saying, man, leave some comments down below. We'll get to them next month. Let me know what you guys thought, and thank you guys for watching this part. So that's been my new comic book day video. You guys saw the haul, you saw the reviews, you saw me talking about my July TBR, everything that I read, and then you also saw me answering some comic book questions from you guys, the audience. Definitely like if you like, sub if you love. It really helps out these small channels. I appreciate it, man. Every single Wednesday we're doing a new comic book day video. Thank you guys for watching, and read more comics.